Welcome to Mystery Hut. 10 puzzling mysteries solved by science. Notwithstanding hundreds of years of study, the universe remains generally strange, as does the planet we call home. We are in animal categories with a need to realize that can't be fulfilled, in any event, when, through science, we figure out how to settle confounding secrets like the 10 on this rundown. Each time we figure out how to disentangle one of the secrets of the universe, however, we are enlivened again to look for additional answers. Please click the subscribe button and give a comment on our video. It is going to motivate us to create more videos and improve our video content. 10. Titan's waves. Planetary researchers concur that the Moon is a wet world, however they are beguiled regarding the explanation that the lakes, oceans, and stream channels need waves. All things considered, notwithstanding the Moon's low gravity, there is wind, as the Moon's ample sand hills demonstrate. As the Moon warms with the methodology of summer, winds ought to reinforce and move adequately quick to make waves discernible to radar. Assuming this is the case, Titan's waves will assist researchers with assessing the environment conditions on Saturn's moon and could show the thickness of the waves, fundamental liquid and its compound makeup, and help to decide the speed of the overlying breezes, giving an autonomous check of Titan environment models. 9. Greenland's dim zone. This layer of particulates decreases the measure of daylight the ice sheet reflects into space, making the ice warm, and, in the spring, the ice dissolves, and the lethargic green growth move to the surface, where they profit with 24-hour daylight, which empowers the plants to photosynthesize and develop, as their green tones obscure to shield the green growth from the steady daylight. The answer for the secret of the dim zone's development should help researchers track the rate at which Greenland's ice sheet dissolves, since the hotter climate advances more prominent stores of phosphorus from nearby shakes, which, drier, uncover more phosphorus, which, thusly, gives more supplements to the green growth, which then, at that point progressively warms the ice, making a proceeding cycle. 8. Antarctica's blood falls. What has been found by researchers related with the University of Alaska Fairbanks is that oxidized iron in saline solution water gives blood falls its surprising tone, as the iron in the salt water, connecting with oxygen noticeable all around, oxidizes, essentially, rusts, and colors the water red. The water wouldn't stream by any means, obviously, in the event that it were frozen, yet it tries not to freeze on the grounds that idle warmth related with water freezing, the water's superimmersion in salt, and the high pressing factors at the foundation of the ice sheet keep up with the salt water at temperatures above freezing. 7. Parasaurolophus skull. Fossil science is a long way from a precise science, as the hoard of capabilities that perusers of writings concerning this field of examination experience obviously proposes. The surprising skull incorporates an overstated cylinder peak that develops along the focal point of the front of the creature's face and houses the dinosaur's nasal entry, including its noses. Envision your nose growing up your face, 3 feet behind your head, then, at that point pivoting to connect over your eyes, scientist Terry Gates says, taking note of Parasaurolophus inhaled through 8 feet of line before oxygen at any point arrived at its head. 6. Train millipede swarms. Albeit, formally, they are known as Paraphontaria laminata armigira, the toxic arthropods native to Japan are conversationally called train millipedes since they swarm in such numbers that they stock prepares in, or following right after, them. First saw in 1920, the millipedes would abound across railroad tracks in Japan's forested mountains in numbers so thick that trains would need to end. The millipedes weren't some way or another drawn to prepare tracks. Their life cycle is 8 years in length, during which the entire populace of the harmful millipedes experience the periods of life simultaneously. 5. Rogue orca attacks. Boats afloat off the coast of Spain have come under attack by rogue orcas. The owner of the 45-foot vessel, Graham Walker, recalled, the boat would Boats under 50 feet long were banned from sailing between Cabo Priorino Grande and Punta de Estaca de Bears, the location of the whales' attacks. The reason for the whale's aggression remained a mystery until researchers analyzed footage of the attacks of a few of the killer whales, all of which were young. 4. Cell bones. Cells don't really have bones, of course, but they do have structures that perform functions similar to such connective tissue. In both plants and animals, actin filaments, thin, flexible protein strands, support cells and cellular functions, growing, shrinking, bonding with other things, and branching off as cells move. Those actin filaments then push on the cell membrane, which allows the cell to move in a particular direction. The improved knowledge of how actin filaments act has important and wide-ranging therapeutic medical applications. 3. Flower power. Charles Darwin couldn't figure out how flowering plants first evolved, and he feared this abominable mystery might undermine his theories of evolution. Specifically, in an 1879 letter to his friend, Dr. Joseph Hooker, a botanist, Darwin admitted, "The rapid development as far as we can judge of all the higher plants within recent geological times is an abominable mystery. How could flowering plants evolve so rapidly, when it had taken other living things, including mammals, a much longer time to do so? What isn't as puzzling, however, are the doubts that Darwin had about his own views on the evolution of life, even months before his death, and his fears that flowering plants might be the basis for challenging the very idea that life had developed as a series of adaptations to the environment over millions of years." 2. Geometric droppings. Sun-Gwyn Jung, a biophysicist at Cornell University, wasn't a member of the research team who found the answer, but the findings leave no doubt, he says, that the wombat's intestines are very special. The marsupials live in Australia's grassy plains and eucalyptus forests, passing their days in tunnels and eating plants by night. A two-dimensional mathematical model of the animal's guts indicated that the wombat's intestinal sections contract over several days, squeezing the feces, as the gut extracts nutrients and water from the excrement. 1. White smudge. Located beside the figure's right arm, on the lower rail of the fence behind him, a mysterious white stain is discernible in one version of Edvard Munch's famous painting, The Scream. When Professor Tine Freusaker of the University of Oslo hired a team to determine the materials and techniques the artist had used in painting his subject, the macro-X-ray fluorescence scanner they used to test a sample of the mysterious white stain solved the mystery. The blemish was molten wax, the culprit a candle in Munch's studio. Graduate student Frederick Van Meert, who analyzed the sample of the painting, reported. Thank you for watching. Please share and like our video. Don't forget to subscribe our channel Mystery Hut.